Welcome to the online writing lab at Purdue, or the OWL at Purdue. The OWL is really great for a variety of things, including having general writing tips as well as research guides and a lot of different resources. But what'll be super applicable for you guys today is looking at how to cite materials. So if you look in this bottom corner, you'll see that there are a couple different style guides. Now, when we're talking about style guides, it's essentially a rule book. There are different rules in the United States than there are in Canada. So depending which side of that border we're on, that changes which rules we need to follow. It's the same with style guides. If you are doing research in the sciences or in psychology, you would use the APA style guide. However, when you're in the humanities, you're going to instead be using the MLA style guide. The Modern Language Association is better suited to the work that we'll be doing in our class, so we're going to be using the Modern Language Association Style Guide. Now, when I click on that, it takes us to a lot of general information about MLA formatting and style. It's a little overwhelming. What we're going to be focusing on is creating a works cited list. Now, right on this main page, it does give you 9 of the elements that you can include in a citation. However, many sources, especially sources that are electronic, don't include those 9 elements. So just looking at that list isn't necessarily the most helpful. Instead, I am going to direct you to this big list of resources over on the left. You'll see, depending on the type of source, there's a specific page for that type of source. In our paper, we're going to be focusing on using electronic sources, so I'm going to go ahead and click on MLA Works Cited Electronic Sources. This page, although still a little overwhelming, narrows it down for us and helps us focus on the information that we really need when it comes to citing electronic or internet sources. If we scroll down a little bit, we'll see all the ingredients for that citation. Again, the list looks pretty long, but this list is better simply because it really focuses on electronic sources and also acknowledges that with a lot of your sources, you won't have all the information, but collect as much as possible for both your citations and then your research notes as well. So when you're going through a source, you want to look for all of this information. Then, for how it's formatted, the first thing you'll do is author, period, title of container, comma, other contributors, version, comma. You don't need me to read the whole thing, but this is the general format. If you're going to be citing an entire website, so if you were to cite all of OWL Purdue, you would cite it as the Purdue OWL family of sites, the Writing Lab in OWL Purdue at Purdue University, 2008. And then with the URL and the access date. If you are doing a specific page on a website, which I think is the case for most of the research I've provided, what you're writing is the title of that particular thing, the website it's taken from, the date it's published, if you have access to that information, the URL, and then I would also have you include the access date. So here we've got access July 6, 2015. Depending on what you're taking from those sources, it might change how much information you have access to. However, there is a ton of information on here. I'll just keep scrolling down about how to cite different online sources. You can even cite a tweet and make sure it's grammatical, or a YouTube video, or even a comment on a website or article. Now, I'm providing you with most of the research, and like I said, in most of those cases, it will be the page on a website, so it'll look like this. But the more information that you have from this start out list, the better your citation will be and the more helpful it'll be for other people who are reading your paper and want to do additional research on the topic. When we're looking at the OWL Purdue website, and when you do get on to other writing projects, keep in mind how many different sources there are for you to look at to identify how you can best cite and write your papers.